So normally I shoot these vlogs on Saturday and Sunday, but my weekend was so crazy this week that I'm up 20 minutes early on a Monday trying to get this done before I go to work. Jealous?
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Well, you shouldn't be. It's not like I was out partying with rock stars. I know that was your first thought. No. It was a combination of social obligations, errands, and some personal life stuff that basically combined to give me a weekend with not even 20 minutes to myself where I could shoot a vlog. So I had to get up early this morning. I'm shooting it now. I'm going to take it with me to my day job where I will edit it and upload it sometime in the next hour or so. But it does sort of lead me to this week's topic, which is jealousy and how we deal with it. Jealousy comes in two forms in this business. Jealousy that we feel towards others, jealousy that is directed towards ourselves. I think a healthy amount of jealousy is okay in this business. In fact, it's expected. This was the same for me in the performing arts. You know, most of my closest friends in college and in grad school were other singers, and we would frequently be up against each other for roles. So if you and three of your best friends are all competing for one role in one opera, and one of you gets it, of course you're happy for that person, but there's also, you know, a significant amount of jealousy because it's not you. I see it in publishing as well, although not to the same extent, because you know, just because somebody you know gets that 3-book deal doesn't necessarily mean that you won't. Of course, it's hard to see that perspective when you have maybe a 1-book deal at a fraction of the advance that your friend just got, or your book is out on submission to editors but nobody's biting, or you're still struggling to get an agent to even acknowledge that you exist in the world. So it's tough to sort of see someone else's perspective when they have something that you so desperately want to attain. Jealousy can be healthy, but it can also turn on a dime. And that's when having a little bit of perspective on who your audience is comes into play. For example, your friend who just got the 3-book deal, maybe a 6-figure deal, a preempt deal, who now has deadlines and, oh, I don't know, she sold foreign rights in 12 territories, and the news on your end just keeps getting better and better, and she's getting more and more stressed. Her stress is valid, and her complaints are valid. Publishing is a very stressful industry, and the higher up you get, the more deadlines, the more pressure, the less time you have to do other things in your life because everything becomes very, you know, contracted in your timeline. But she complains nonstop to you about how horrible it is. You're going to lose your sympathy real fast, especially if, you know, your book is languishing or it's not doing that well, or maybe your publisher canceled a contract. I mean, God only knows. There's so many crazy things out there that can happen. You do have to know your audience a little bit. It's like when my friends who are married stay-at-home moms complain about being married stay-at-home moms. I totally understand that perspective, and they are allowed their stress, and I try really, really hard not to be the bitter 36-year-old who's childless and just went through a prolonged divorce when I'm listening to them. But in the back of my mind, there is a little voice saying, why are they complaining? I wish that was me. Because they have something that I, you know, want. So you have to be careful. We're all allowed to complain. I'm allowed to complain about my deadlines. You're allowed to complain about agents not being interested in your manuscript, or about, you know, having to go on a 14-city book tour because it's so stressful. I get it. But we all have to be really, really conscious of who our audience is, because jealousy, healthy jealousy, can turn to bitter resentment and hatred like that.